From the Valley in the Lower Mainland, Bob Reist, head coach of the Valley Huskers, and Rob Ellis up in the interior with the Kamloops Broncos. These two teams set to meet in week number 4. And as always, let's look back before we look ahead. And Bob, let's start with you. Week 3, what'd you see? What jumped off the film when you looked back on it?
Certainly it wasn't our best performance. Across the board, we looked unprepared, and certainly I'm not sure, why. I think we had a good game plan going in, and, that's something we got to address in our locker room this week moving forward is to, be focused and be prepared and, be prepared to execute what we see in practice all week long. So, I think game kind of got away from certainly early on, and then we started to pick things up late, but by that time far too little, far too late.
Rob, how about you? What was your breakdown and review of your club's performance in week number 3?
Well, we seem to have the same game plan the last 3 games, is play a tight game for a half and keep it nice and close, and third quarter hits and just brain fart after brain fart. So the kids played well. We don't have the depth when we have injuries to compete at the later on in the game. But you know what? We need to play 4 quarters, and once we learn how to do that, I think we'll be all right.
Rob, I did want to ask you. You talk about playing that first half. 22-14 at the half, a 14 points second quarter. You basically draw that second quarter with the Raiders. Is that something that you can try and build on and bring up with your team? Let's focus on and remember what that felt like.
Oh, definitely. It was 14-all with until the last play of that second half, I believe, when they threw the deep ball. We just we can't afford to make those mistakes. We were in a wrong coverage, I think, at the time, and it comes back to bite you. We had the momentum going into the second half, and we again took the third quarter off, just like we did with the Sun and with Langley. We just can't afford to do that.
Bob, I know for a fact, and no team, of course, ever thinks they're going to be 0-3, wants to be 0-3, but I know this is not certainly the way you envision the start to your season. What are some of the conversations going on with your staff, with your team? I know you talked about, being more focused and prepared, but just try and break down the mindset for your group right now after these first 3 weeks. Do we still have Bob? I think we might have lost Bob. There we go.
There you go.
Bob's back. So yeah, I was just asking about, where you're at, where this club is at. I know 0-3 is nowhere near what the expectations would have been for your group. Try and just break down what the conversations are like with your staff and with your players right now.
Yeah, certainly 0-3 is not what what we had set out to do in the first 3 weeks of the season. Something that has to be addressed. The main focus this week and moving forward is to stay the course. We don't need to break this thing down and tear it down and start from the beginning. We need to stay the course, and we need to focus on what our goals are and controlling what we can control as a program moving forward. So I think it's less about going back and breaking this thing down and for us for 0-3. I think it's more focusing on what we need to do and go 1-0 this week, and that's what we need to do.
Rob, give me the breakdown. I'm not asking you to tip your hand or talk game plans, but give me the breakdown of the Valley Huskers when you watch their film and you start to assess the challenge ahead of you here.
Well, I think anybody that's watched them play know that they're very strong on defense. So we have to be very, very patient and to make sure that we, ball control, keep it away from that offense, because I know that they're very consistent on offense also. It's none of these games are easy, and the Chilliwack is well coached, and they've got some really good athletes on their team. So again, it's just going to be consistency, ball control, staying focused for 4 quarters, and just trying to compete.
Gentlemen, I appreciate your time. Best of luck with your preparations, and all the best in the battle this weekend. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks. Good luck.
Okay, keep up. Okay, bye.